Hello, everyone, and welcome to a preview of the 2018 Northwood University baseball season. I'm Travis McCurdy, joined by fourth-year head coach Jordan Bischel. And, Coach, sitting here today compared to a year ago at this time, things have certainly changed for your program after last year's remarkable season.
Yeah, I guess from an outside perspective it has. Our expectations were high going into last year. They're high now, and they'll be high again next year no matter how this year goes. So I guess internally it doesn't feel a whole lot different, but certainly for the kids, some more accolades, some more things. I guess we've seen some things that haven't happened here before, so in some ways, yeah, there's been some change.
GLIAC regular season, GLIAC tournament, regional finalists, hosting the regional, all those things were great last year, but that's last year, this is this year. You've got a lot of really key players from that team back this year. Starting on the mound, Tyler Jandron had a great year last year, and he's expected to be great this year, along with Ian Dimitri.
Yeah, our starting point with our guys this year was handling success. We'd never been in a position to come off a really good season, and how do we handle that? That probably led to a little bit of complacency in the fall, and we had to battle that a little bit. I think we're past that now and understand it's a new year. We're excited to play, but having guys like Tyler and Ian back are awfully valuable. Ian is a guy who's really been overlooked because he didn't have as many wins as Tyler last year, but if you look at the numbers, he was awfully good too. So certainly having those two guys back on the mound is a great place to start.
And then you go to your field, and you've got some great players in the field back as well. You lost some field position players as well, but overall you got to feel good about your depth and your overall play around both the infield and outfield.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to understand that Connor Foley, Danny Pulver, you're just not going to replace them. You don't get players like that and just plug somebody in. So there's going to have to be a little bit of just other guys collectively picking up some slack. But there's some guys to build around with Javi and Ryan and David in the middle of the order. Those are three pretty accomplished hitters. We've got those guys, and now we've got to have some other guys step up and help out too.
And then bullpen was really led last year by it was a lot of different guys, but Lennon Guizdala was really outstanding, kind of took that role and ran with it.
Yeah, the flexibility Lennon gives us, his ability to go multiple innings. You think about an extra inning game at Walsh where we, I think, went 6 innings with him out of the bullpen. Pretty unusual for a closer, and the arm bounces back well. He can go a couple innings, come back the next day. That versatility is awfully valuable, but we pride ourselves on depth, so we don't want to use that any more than we have to. We need other guys, and we've got a pretty inexperienced group besides Lennon in the pen, and depending on how many of those guys step up could really play an impact on how we do.
As always, you're going to have a lot of newcomers, new faces on the team. Talk about some of the guys that have stood out early on.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a couple of transfers step in and do some good things for us. Keaton Sackett and Colin McClelland are two pretty experienced junior college players that should be able to come in and fill the top half of the lineup and help us out there. On the mound, a guy like Jake Gross, local guy, Delta Community College, should come in and help solidify the rotation. So you've got a few pieces there. Not a lot of impact expected from our freshmen this year. Last year we had Kyle Ziegler, Travis Janes, David Vinsky all starting. I don't see that happening early in the season. You don't know what will happen as the season goes. But what we do have is some younger guys that had limited roles last year that are now sophomores or maybe redshirt sophomores that should take on a little bit bigger role. And that part's exciting when you see them develop for a year or two in the program and nobody knows who they are, and now they're in a spot to really help us.
Looking at the GLIAC, of course, the usual suspects are right there: Grand Valley, Wayne State. Those are the two other teams to look at. But what are your general thoughts about the GLIAC coming into 2018?
Well, you have 8 teams, and they're all pretty darn quality. I mean, and with the changes in the GLIAC, we've lost some really good teams, but by shortening up the length of the league, you really have 8 teams that all, I think, are saying, hey, we want to compete for the conference title. I really believe that's where we're at. You got teams like Davenport coming in. They may be overlooked because they were NAIA, but they were one of the top 5 programs in NAIA baseball. So you throw those guys in, you throw in a great program like Grand Valley, a great program like Wayne. Tiffin was outstanding last year. Ashland has so much history. Saginaw is building things in the right direction. I mean, you've got, Purdue Northwest is obviously a big public school. Top to bottom, you've got teams. You're not going to see 4-game sweeps very often. You're going to see a tight-knit group that it's going to come down to a lot of little things.
Well, Coach, a little over 2 weeks away from the start of the year. We're really looking forward. Thanks for joining us, and good luck this season.
Appreciate it, Travis. Thank you.